Imagine ending your cruise, walking up to guest services, and being told, you still owe $1,287. And you just stand there thinking, how? I already paid for the cruise. That is the moment a lot of passengers realize the cruise fare was only the beginning. Because on a cruise ship, the final bill does not usually come from one huge mistake. It comes from little charges that quietly pile up while you're busy enjoying yourself. A drink here, a service fee there, room service, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, a medical visit, a casino charge, and suddenly your relaxing cruise has turned into a maths test with ocean views. The worst part is, many of these charges do not feel expensive at the time. They feel small. They feel normal. They feel like, oh, that's probably included. Then the final bill arrives, and your face looks exactly like the person on the thumbnail. So today, we're going through 8 cruise charges passengers miss until the final bill. The hidden costs that can sneak up on you before you realize what has happened. And make sure you stay for number 6, because that one is not about drinks, dining, Wi-Fi, or anything fun. But it can become one of the biggest bills of the whole cruise. If you love cruising, press the like button, because it really helps the channel. Let's get into it. Number 1. The daily charge that keeps running while you sleep. This is one of the easiest cruise charges to miss because it does not feel like you're buying anything. You're not ordering a drink. You're not booking the spa. You're not walking into a shop and saying, yes, I would like to financially damage myself today. It just appears, day after day, quietly. On many cruise lines, this is called a daily gratuity, daily service charge, or automatic tips. And if you did not prepay it before the cruise, it may be added to your onboard account every single day. Per person, not per cabin. That is the part that catches people, because someone might think, oh, it is only around $18 or $20. But if there are 2 people in the cabin, that is double. If it is a 7-night cruise, that keeps adding up. And if you have a family, it can grow very quickly. So by the end of the cruise, you might look at the bill and think, wait, what is this charge every day? And the answer is, it was running in the background the whole time, like a subscription service you accidentally signed up for at sea. Now, this does not mean the charge is bad. The crew work incredibly hard. Your cabin steward, dining staff, and other crew members are doing a lot behind the scenes to make the cruise run smoothly. But the mistake is not knowing about the charge until the final bill. Because if you only looked at the cruise fare, you may have thought the holiday cost one amount. Then the daily service charges are added. Then the drinks. Then the Wi-Fi. Then the room service. Then the specialty dining. And suddenly, the final bill looks like it has been eating at the buffet too. The smart move is to check this before you sail. Ask whether gratuities are included, prepaid, optional, automatic, adjustable, or added daily. Different cruise lines handle this differently. Some include more in the fare. Some add the charge to your account. Some let you prepay. Some let you adjust it at guest services, depending on the policy. But do not wait until the last night to find out. Because by then, you are tired, packing, trying to find your other shoe, and wondering how one cruise card caused so much financial activity. So before you book, look for the daily gratuity or service charge. Work out the total for every person in the cabin. Add it to the real cost of the cruise. Because the charge might be daily, but the shock comes at the end. Number 2. The extra service charge added to things you already paid extra for. This charge annoys passengers because it feels like paying extra on top of extra. You buy a drink, you book specialty dining, you order room service, you go to the spa, and you think, fine, I know this costs more. But then another percentage can be added on top. Depending on the cruise line, that might be called a gratuity, service charge, beverage service charge, dining service charge, or spa service charge. And it can often be around 18 to 20%. That is where people get caught. They are not shocked that the cocktail costs money. They are shocked that the cocktail costs money, and then the service charge gets added too. Same with specialty dining. You might see the cover charge and think, okay, that is the price. But the final amount can be higher once the automatic service charge is added, and the spa can be even worse. A massage already feels expensive. Then the service charge appears, and suddenly your relaxing treatment has given your bank account a muscle knot. The important thing to understand is this. The daily gratuity from number 1 does not always cover every extra charge on board. Many cruise lines still add separate automatic service charges to extras like drinks, specialty restaurants, room service, minibar items, spa treatments, salon services, and some packages. So if you prepaid gratuities before the cruise, do not assume that means every onboard service charge is gone. That's the mistake. Passengers hear, gratuities are paid, and think, great, I am done. Then they buy a drink, book dinner, order something to the cabin, or visit the spa, and the onboard account keeps growing. And because each charge looks small, it is easy to ignore. A few dollars here, a few dollars there, another receipt, another little add-on, and because you are on holiday, you tell yourself it is probably nothing. Until the final bill arrives and all those little nothings have formed a small committee. The smart move is simple. Before you buy a package, book a treatment, order room service, or pay for specialty dining, check whether the service charge is already included or added at checkout. Look at the final price, not just the advertised price. When you order a drink, check the receipt. When you book the spa, ask if the gratuity is included. And when you see a price on board, train yourself to think, is that the final amount, or is another percentage coming? Because on a cruise, the price you see is not always the price your onboard account feels. And that is how passengers end up paying extra on the thing they already paid extra for. Number 3, the drink package charges that still sneak through. This is the charge that makes passengers say, but I bought the drink package, and I get it. You pay for the package and think, great, drinks are sorted. But a drink package does not always mean every drink, everywhere, with every extra charge included. That is where people get caught. Some drinks may be over the package limit. Some minibar drinks, room service drinks, souvenir cups, fresh juices, specialty coffees, bottled drinks, or energy drinks may not be included, depending on the cruise line and package. And in some ports or waters, taxes can still appear on your account, even if the drink itself is covered. So you order a drink while the ship is still in port. A small tax appears. You grab something from the minibar. Charge? You order through room service. Charge? You choose a drink above the limit. Charge. And then later you check your account and think, why am I seeing drink charges when I already paid for drinks? The mistake is not buying a drink package. For some people, it can be worth it. The mistake is thinking the package is a magic shield against every drink-related cost. It is not. Before you buy one, check the details. What drinks are included? Is there a price limit? Are specialty coffees included? Is bottled water included? Does it work with room service? Does it work at private islands? Are taxes still charged in port? And does everyone in the cabin have to buy it? That last one matters, because on some cruise lines, if one adult buys the alcoholic package, other adults in the same cabin may also need to buy it too. So do the maths before the cruise. Not holiday maths, real maths. Because the worst drink package is the one you buy to stop surprise charges. Then, it creates new ones you did not expect. Number 4, the room service fee that looks free until you order the wrong way. Room service sounds like one of those lovely cruise things. You're in your cabin. You're tired. You do not want to face the buffet. So you think, I'll just order something to the room. And honestly, that sounds perfect. Food arrives at your door, you stay in your slippers, and nobody has to know you're eating breakfast in bed like royalty with messy hair. But this is where passengers get caught. Room service is not always free anymore. On some cruise lines, a basic continental breakfast may still be complimentary, but other room service orders can have a delivery fee, service charge, or menu charge. And the confusing part is, one section of the menu might be free, while another section is not. So a passenger orders eggs, bacon, coffee, juice, or late-night food thinking, room service is included. Then later the charge appears on the account. Not huge, not shocking by itself. But that is exactly how hidden costs work. One room service order, then another, then late-night snacks, then breakfast because you did not feel like getting dressed. And suddenly the final bill has a little room service trail all over it. The mistake is not ordering room service. Sometimes it is worth every cent. If you are tired, unwell, traveling with kids, getting ready for a port day, or just want a quiet morning, room service can be brilliant. The mistake is assuming every item arrives free just because it comes to your cabin. Before you order, check the menu properly. Look for delivery fees. Look for service charges. Look for which breakfast items are included. Look for whether drinks, hot food, late-night orders, or phone orders cost extra. And if you are ordering through the app, check the final screen before you press confirm. Because on a cruise, the most expensive breakfast is not always the fanciest one. Sometimes it is the one you thought was free. Number 5. The specialty dining trap hidden in the fine print. Specialty dining is one of the easiest cruise splurges to justify. You look at the steakhouse, the Italian restaurant, the seafood place, or the fancy chef's table and think, we're on holiday, let's do one nice dinner. And that is completely fair. But this is where passengers can miss the fine print, because the price you see may not be the only price you pay. There can be a service charge. There can be premium menu items. There can be extra charges for additional main courses. There can be wine pairings, special drinks, or upgraded sides that are not included. And if you miss your reservation or cancel too late, some cruise lines can charge a fee for that too. So what looked like one special dinner can quietly become a much bigger number on the final bill. The mistake is not eating at specialty restaurants. Some of them are excellent. The mistake is walking in thinking, I already paid, so everything here must be included. That is where the bill can bite. Before you book, check what the price actually covers. Is it a cover charge or a la carte? Is the service charge included? Are all menu items included, or are some marked with an extra fee? Can you order more than one main course? Are drinks included? What happens if you cancel late or do not show up? And if you have a dining package, check how many meals it really covers and which restaurants accept it. Because on a cruise, specialty dining included does not always mean eat anything, anywhere, with no extra charges. Sometimes it means one meal, certain venues, certain menu items, and certain rules. So enjoy the nice dinner. Now, order the steak, take the photo. Pretend you understand the fancy sauce, but read the details before you book. Because the worst dessert on a cruise is finding out your included dinner came with extra charges on the side. Number 6. The medical center bill nobody budgets for. This is the charge most passengers do not think about until something goes wrong. You feel dizzy, you trip, you get food poisoning, you need medication, you feel chest pain, you get badly dehydrated, so you go to the ship's medical center thinking, I'll just get checked, and you should. If something feels serious, do not ignore it. But here is the part passengers miss. The ship's medical center is not usually like visiting your normal doctor at home. It can be charged at private rates. Consultations can cost money. Medication can cost money. Tests can cost money. Treatment can cost money. And if it becomes serious enough for hospital care or evacuation, the bill can become enormous. That is why this one can be such a shock. Nobody plans to get sick on a cruise. Nobody packs a swimsuit, sunscreen, and says, I might also enjoy a surprise medical bill. But it happens, and the cost can be much higher than people expect. The mistake is not going to the medical center. If you need help, get help. The mistake is assuming it will be cheap, free, or automatically covered by Medicare, normal health insurance, or a basic travel policy. That can be a very expensive assumption. Before you sail, check your travel insurance properly. Does it include cruise cover? Does it cover onboard medical treatment? Does it cover medical evacuation? Does it cover pre-existing conditions? Does it cover every country and port on your itinerary? And do you need to pay first and claim later? That last one matters, because some passengers may need to pay the ship's medical bill before they leave the cruise. So do not treat cruise medical cover like a boring extra. Treat it like part of the fare. Because a drink charge might annoy you, a room service fee might surprise you, but a medical bill can completely change the cost of the whole holiday. And the worst time to find that out is when you are already sitting in the ship's medical center, feeling awful, and realizing the final bill is about to get a lot bigger. Number 7. The phone roaming charge that does not even show on the cruise bill. This is one of the nastiest cruise charges because it may not show up on your cruise bill at all. It can arrive later from your phone company, and that is why passengers miss it. They buy the ship's Wi-Fi and think, great, my phone is sorted. But ship Wi-Fi and mobile roaming are not the same thing. If your phone is not in airplane mode, it may still try to connect to a cruise ship roaming network while you're at sea. And that can become expensive fast. You might not even be doing anything dramatic. A few background app updates. A photo trying to upload. A message syncing. A weather app checking the temperature, because apparently your phone desperately needs to know the weather in the middle of the ocean. Then later, the bill arrives. And suddenly one tiny phone setting becomes one of the most expensive mistakes of the cruise. The mistake is not using your phone. The mistake is thinking. Buying Wi-Fi automatically stops roaming charges. It does not. Before the ship leaves port, put your phone in airplane mode. Then turn Wi-Fi back on if you are using the ship's internet. Check this for every phone, tablet, smartwatch, and child's device in your group, because it only takes one device quietly roaming in the background to create a very ugly surprise. Also, check with your mobile provider before the cruise. Some carriers offer cruise roaming passes. Some charge daily rates. Some charge very high pay-as-you-go rates. And some plans that work overseas on land may not work the same way at sea. So do not guess. Check before you sail. Because the final cruise bill might look fine. Then your phone bill arrives later and says, "Surprise, I'm part of the holiday too." Number 8. The casino cash, ATM, and card hold trap at the end. This final charge is messy because sometimes it is not even one charge. It is a mix of charges, holds, fees, and pending amounts that make passengers look at their bank account and think, "Wait, did the cruise line charge me twice?" On many cruises, your onboard account is linked to a card. As you spend money, the cruise line may place temporary holds to make sure the funds are available. These holds are not the same as final charges, but they can still reduce your available balance. And if you use a debit card, that can feel even worse because the hold may restrict real money in your bank account until it is released. So the cruise ends, the final bill is charged, and some passengers still see pending amounts sitting there. That is when the panic starts. But card holds are not the only trap. The casino and ATM can add their own surprises too. If you get cash through the casino cashier, there may be a cash advance fee. If you use the onboard ATM, the fee can be high. And if your own bank adds another fee on top, that quick bit of cash can become a very expensive little decision. The mistake is not using your card, casino, or ATM. The mistake is not knowing how the money side works before the last day. So check your onboard account during the cruise, not just at the end. Look for pending charges. Watch casino spending. Avoid using a debit card if holds would cause problems. Bring some cash if you are comfortable doing that, and understand that the amount you see in your bank account straight after the cruise may not be the final clean picture yet, because nothing ruins the post-cruise mood faster than getting home, opening your banking app, and wondering if your cruise card went on holiday without you.